Good morning.
We are, we are learning Mishnah's Kesubos, Perek Ches, Chapter 8, Mishnah Aleph, Mishnah 1. Now, an introduction. We have learned that once a couple is fully married, meaning they've gone through Nisuin, they've had the chuppah, the husband may eat the produce of his wife's property. That is, he has the right to use them to his advantage. For example, if she owns productive land, he may farm it and eat or sell the produce. So a woman owns a property. She brings it into the marriage. After Nisuin, the rights of usage go to the husband. The land itself belongs to the woman, but the usage of the land, such as growing crops, eating the crops, selling the crops, the usage of the land belongs to him. That is a general rule. Now, this Mishnah discusses whether a wife may sell her property or give it away. There may be restrictions on her doing so even before Nisuin, meaning before she's completely married, since she would thereby deny her husband the opportunity to take its produce in the future. Meaning, there are going to be certain points of time, as we're going to see a number of different cases of the Mishnah, where she may be selling this property before he actually has the right to use it, but she's taking away the ability for him to eventually use it. And maybe that makes a difference or not. So that's going to be, so we have a number of different cases here about when she received the property, when she sold the property, and that will make a difference about what the halacha is regarding her sale. So let's begin reading. Ha'isha shenaflu la nechasim. A woman who property fell to her, which is an expression that's typically used when she gets an inheritance. But it could be whether she got an inheritance, whether she got a gift. But the woman who properties fell to her, ad shalei tisaris, before she became betrothed. Remember, right? You've got two stages to marry. Erisin, which we give it some kind of English translation called betrothed. They have Nisuin, where the marriage is completed. Now, she acquired these properties before she was even betrothed. I mean, first she was at all married to this guy, and then she got married to the guy. Meaning she had Erisin done, and that's when she sold it. You get the case? She inherited it before she got married. She then got Erisin, and then she sold or gave it away during Erisin. So she's already married to the guy, but it's before the guy has any kind of actual rights to usage of the land. So what's the halacha here? What happens with the sale? Or what can she do? Because really the question is going to be double. May she sell? And even if she may not sell, will the sale stand? So Meidim Beishamai Beisilel Shemay Cheres V'Naisenes V'Kayim. Both Beishamai and Beisilel agree in this case that she has every right to go ahead and sell or give it away, and it will stand. If she acquired it before she had any connection to this man, even though now when she's selling it, she has Erisin to him, she's married to him, nonetheless, in this case, at these stages, under these circumstances, everybody agrees she has every right to sell it and give it away, and the person who received it is now going to be full owner and usage of the property. After the marriage, the husband can't say, "Hey, I was already married to her when she sold it. I had Erisin with her when she sold it, so I had rights here." Nope, nothing to talk about. Not in this case, where she got it, when she acquired it, even before she was married at all to this man. Now, the case number 2, Naflu la mishenes arsa. Let's say the properties fell to her after Erisin, meaning she first acquired it after she was already married to this man. Not fully married, but married with Erisin to this man. That's when she acquired it. That means she acquired it once they were married, where now he has the potential after Nisuin, after Chuppah, to now take over the usage of this land. So we say like this. Kaflu la mishenes arsa, when they fell to her after Erisin, Bei Shammai oimrim, Bei Shammai say, Timkar. Bei Shammai say, she wants to sell it, go ahead. Even though she first acquired it while she was married to this man, again, married with Erisin, nonetheless, he doesn't have rights to the land yet. So she has full usage of the land, full rights to the land. She can go ahead and sell it. But Beis Hillel say no, she's not allowed to sell it. At this point in time, where she first acquired it after she was married, she acquired it already when there was a husband there who has the eventual rights to the usage of the land, she should not be selling it. She's not allowed to sell it. Nonetheless, at the end of the day, both Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel, although they disagree whether she's permitted to sell the land, were she to do it or to give it away, it would stand. Because again, at the end of the day, it's only during Erison. It's only at the point where she's just betrothed to the man. She's not fully married. And therefore, to say she has no right to sell it, that she has no rights at all, he could actually take it away from the buyer, that you can't do. You can't say. But I'm sorry, you're right, that you can't say. But should she initially sell it? Beis Hillel say no. Now, what's important to bear in mind through this Mishnah is that if we were to say, right, if we were to consider the possibility that after she sold it, the husband could take it away from the buyer, taking it away from the buyer will only mean that the buyer will not be able to use the land. He will be using the land because a husband has the usage rights of the land. So if we say that her sale wouldn't stand, it doesn't mean it doesn't stand at all. I mean, she owned the actual property. She can sell the actual property. The question is, though, when she sells the property, does the husband lose his rights of usage? So right now we're saying she should not sell the land. According to Beis Hillel say, she may not sell the land. Nonetheless, everybody agrees, were she to sell the land, the sale stands, which means the buyer owns the land, he uses the land, and husband can say, I use the land. Amar Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda said, Amru lefnei Rabbi Gamliel. The sage has said before Rabbi Gamliel about this halacha we just said, this law that we just said, that when she acquired it during Erison, she was already married when she acquired the property, and she sold it then. He said, if she sells it, the sale stands. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Gamliel. They said before Rabbi Gamliel, since he acquired the woman, shouldn't he acquire her property? Their argument is, look, it's true that at the point of Erison, he doesn't have actual rights to use the land, but he's married to her. He acquired her, and he acquired the rights to use her, and she basically acquired the rights to use her land. And therefore, why would we say that when she sells the land, that the husband can't go back and say, give it back, that I get the usage of it? Amar lahem, Ramaglia responded to them, ala chadashim anu baishin. On the new ones, we're embarrassed. You even want to include, you even want to put on upon us the old ones? Then that means like this. We're going to learn in the Mishnah that in a situation where let me just get this case straight. Right, let me read it to you here. The Mishnah shall teach that if a wife acquired property after Nisuin, after chuppah, and then sold it, the husband can take it from the buyer and use it. Everybody agrees to that. She acquired it after full marriage, and she sold it after full marriage, which is when the husband has actual rights to use it. He has to have actual ownership to use it. Then he can go over to the buyer and say, sorry, I use the land. I get the crops. I get everything. Okay? So that's a fact that everybody holds that way. But Rabbi Gamliel is bothered by that. He's troubled by it. That's what he means when he says, on the new ones, we're embarrassed. The new ones means what came most recently. The properties that came after their marriage is completed. On that, we know the halacha is, everybody agrees, that at that point, if she got it then and she sold it then, that the halacha is, he can go to the buyer and say, I get the land, I get the usage of the land. Rabbi Gamliel said about that we're embarrassed for that. Embarrassed just meant to say that we're embarrassed that we can't understand it. We can't understand why, if the woman actually owns the land, that when she makes a sale of the actual land, that what follows from the actual sale of the land is the usage of the land. That's what the land's about. So we know that that's not the halacha. Beis Shammai Beis Hillel agreed there that the sale, that he can go over and take it back. Rabbi Gamliel said, but we have trouble understanding even that, even when he has the usage of the land, but she owns the actual land. And we say, well, if you sell it, too bad. The buyer can own the land, but he can't use it. Rabbi Gamliel says we have a hard time understanding that. And now you have a problem understanding that when it only happened by Arison, why that he should be able to take it back? We have a problem even at a later stage, even at the stage where he actually has the rights of usage of the land. We have a problem understanding why he could take it away from the buyer. And you're coming in and basically saying, how could it be that even by Arison, when she got the land by Arison and she sold it by Arison, they said from Gamliel, he acquired her. He should acquire her property. He should have rights over the property. She shouldn't be able to sell the use. She shouldn't be. He should have the rights to go to the buyer and take it away usage wise. That was what they said to Rabbi Gamliel. Rabbi Gamliel said, "You have a problem with that. You have a problem at that stage, at the stage at the earlier stage, at the old stage, so to speak, which that's what he called it, the old ones." The property that came at an earlier stage, the property that came by Arison. You have a property by that? You have a problem by that? We have a problem even by the later stage, even by the newer stage. We have a problem even when she's fully married and he has the actual rights of the land. We have a problem why she can't sell it to somebody else. And we say that he can take it away from them for usage. So basically the point was at this point, this point of the Mishnah is that according to Rabbi Yehuda's version, we're going to see there's a different version of this story. But according to Rabbi Yehuda's version, after it was learned that if she acquires it during Arison and she sells it during Arison, that if she sold it, the sale stands. So the sage said from Gamliel, how could that be? She got it when he was already married to her, and being that he acquired her, he should be acquiring her properties also, that if she sells it, he should still be able to demand the rights after the completion of the marriage, after the Nisuin. Now that Rabbi Gamliel said, you have a problem with that? I have a problem the other way. I have a problem even at a later stage, even after marriage, where he can actually use the land. And everybody there says that if she sells it, then he can take away the land from the buyers for usage. I have a problem understanding that, since she actually owned the land. And you have a problem, and therefore, if I have a problem there, and I know the halacha is otherwise, but I have a problem there, don't come talking to me about Arison. Arison, which is an earlier stage of marriage when he never really actually had the rights of usage, don't come to me complaining, he should be able to take the land away from the buyer. At that stage, he for sure shouldn't be able to do it, says Rabbi Gamliel. Okay, we're going to continue this Mishnah tomorrow. Okay. Now, here we're talking about someone who wants to make a match for his daughter with a young man, and they're saying that this person has shortcomings. So we say that the first example that he gave, that we say that you need to tell about the shortcomings of, let's say, shortcomings, is regarding a very serious. He's sick. He's a sick person. He's a not well person. And that definitely can have ramifications for the marriage. That would be an example where you can go over to the girl's father and say, look, you need to know that this person is a very sickly person. That would be one example where you may tell the girl's father about the shortcoming of the young man.
Without details.
Excuse me?
Without details.
No, it depends. Depends how far you need to say. There's another manner that you need to, in another situation where you need to let him know. Let's say he says it's been heard about the chassan, or it's interesting the wording, it was heard about the chassan, which probably means it was established about the chassan that he has heretical beliefs. You got to tell the prospective father, the father of the girl, that. That's a big problem for the marriage. You're not only married to such a person. So if there is an issue that he had that he has heretical beliefs, you got to let him know. He says, for that we say the following. The Torah says, don't be a talebearer, don't speak lashon hara. Right after that it says, don't stand by the blood of your brother, which means don't be a talebearer, don't be lashon hara, but at the same time, don't stand by his blood. If he can really suffer and you can save him, you definitely have to do that. Okay, so another example of where you can go and reveal the shortcomings of the young man is if he has heretical beliefs. Now, I'm just going to speak this out here. Again, the wording was if it was heard about the chassan. Now, again, before you tell the father-in-law about it, right, you probably should investigate, what you heard about. But if what you heard, you either determined or actually, think there's some serious issues here about that, that could also be enough, possibly. I'm thinking that could also be enough to go in and tell the other side about it. Because if you investigated and the accusations or the questions are serious, that's something a person needs to know. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Rabbi. I have several questions.